Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back here with part two of whatever this is, the M.K.S QE system. Hope you enjoy it, and as ever, I'd love to read what your comments and anything you think about this idea. As I asked in the live chat, dear, I asked, what do you think of this video, or myself, or my content, and to record this idea specifically, and do you think it could make the world a better place? Yeah, so I'd love to know if you like the idea or not, or whether you think it could be tweaked or whatever. I woke up quite early today. It's like only just past. It's like it's 4:15, because I slept quite a lot yesterday because I was a bit depressed and all that kind of thing. Anyway, I try not to go too much into my life story, but yeah, basically I'm up early, so hopefully I won't get distracted. Sometimes I do like to make these videos at night, like when other people are asleep, so I hopefully won't get distracted, as I say. And hopefully all will be well. Anyway, we'll try and get to a point, as I say. And yeah, please check out part one if you haven't done so, and look out for the Facebook version where I hope to hopefully cover some different ideas and that kind of thing. But I'd love to know what you think. Like, do you think this is a workable idea, or do you think it's interesting, or could make a great story, great book, or whatever? A great story generally, or whatever. Maybe in the future, hopefully, I'll make like story versions and stuff like that instead of list versions. Anyway, so here goes onto the list. So number 11, as I think I briefly touched on in part one, this could go like different ways. There could be alternative ways this could go. So, for instance, upon negotiation with like politicians, governments, banks, possibly businesses, and whoever else can make decisions, decision makers, international organizations, NGOs, or whatnot. It could be that like at 12 o'clock, like midnight, or at half 12, or 1 o'clock, or whatever time is best is decided upon each day, like to symbolize the start of a new day or whatever, or between one day and the next. It could well be that it could be whatever money's in the world could be times by 100, or it could be 10 times, or it could be 5 times. It'll probably be a rounded number, or it could be even more than 100. Rather, it could be like 1,000, depending on what's agreed upon. I hope that somehow there could be like a rule which limits inflation still somehow to 10% or whatever. But yeah, so it could be done in different ways. It could be basically the idea could be tweaked. I was thinking like M.A.D. That could be an acronym for M.A.D. Like, you have to be mad to make the world different, like making a difference. This could change the world in many ways, hopefully for the better. Number 12, as I briefly touched on, I was saying part one, I hope to use this to help a lot of disadvantaged, oppressed, or basically just disadvantaged, I'll say groups, like disabled people or whatnot, and inspire them and motivate them. And again, hopefully it will help me with other projects. Number 13, although I do realize it could be corrupted or it could go wrong, and maybe I am being a foolish, naive person, I'll say it would be quite ironic if these ideas did actually work, as foolish as I am. But yeah, maybe I'm just a stupid moron, I don't know, but probably am actually in many ways, I suppose I am. But anywho, yeah, I know it could be corrupted or it could go wrong in some ways, unfortunately. And 14, however, I hope it is used to make the world a better place and can do a lot of good things, and solve a lot of problems. Number 15, including supporting, as I say, my goals and causes, aims, objectives, dreams, and things like that, including, yeah, the 5 causes I talk about. So I know I said in part one I won't go into it too much, go into it in part one itself, but I think I might. I was thinking about this, I couldn't really sleep because I was thinking of this idea too much and how I wanted to get it done. But as it's a Monday, like Money Mondays, and also 17 for Imagine Ifs, I really wanted to get this done. Initially I was thinking of doing like another video on my Imagine Ifs for for some reason I put speech marks for a neurodiversity billionaires network, but I decided to do this instead. But yeah, so I hope that somehow I'll be able to fundraise in all possible ways for Italian football, especially Roma and Genoa, but Italian football generally, like youth development academies and that kind of thing, as well as the clubs buying better players to benefit both club and country for Italy. Also for Celtic, libertarianism. I hope that, for instance, this could be used to like help with privatisation, the deregulation of industries, and especially like taxes. For instance, if money was raised in the system, it could be used to pay for things like healthcare, education, and other programs that are otherwise paid for via taxes. And instead, like, so taxpayers could pay the least amount of taxes possible. I'd also love to fundraise for, including if this idea ever works, like for, but also basically fundraise generally in all possible ways for libertarianism and libertarian causes, human rights and things like that, and making people more free, allowing people to make their own decisions in life and stuff like that as much as possible, including helping disabled people to become more independent. And this could be used to replace, that's the word, replace, not replicate, but replace taxes for like benefits and things like that, perhaps. Maybe I'm being naive, as I say, but ideally, anyway, I'm talking very idealistically, and as I say, imagine ifs. I'm using my imagination and dreams, things like that. Many people might say it's a pipe dream, but hopefully somehow I can make something out of it, out of these ideas, and like tweak them and whatever if necessary, say negotiate them and that kind of thing. But I say also for former colonies especially, and also for tackling poverty and alleviating suffering and spreading peace, love, joy, positives, and that kind of thing. Number 16, as I say, I was trying to sleep, but I thought I couldn't really sleep, and I was thinking about these ideas, and I wanted to make sure I get them done, hopefully before anyone else wakes up in my household to potentially disturb the video or things like that. But yeah, this could be tweaked again, and again, we could negotiate and things like that. So on my Facebook, I put, as partly jokingly, I put like chief negotiator of banks and stuff like that. So yeah, to negotiate with politicians, governments, banks, possibly even businesses, international organizations or bodies, and other potential decision makers, NGOs, charities, and whatnot, like disabled organizations, for instance, or anti-poverty campaigners or whatnot, see if this could be implemented to tackle poverty and things like that as much as possible. Number 17, again, this is mainly my imaginations. I'll say, because number 17 reminds me of Imagine Ifs, and it's the 17th, and also it's a Monday, like Money Mondays. I was talking about on Mondays, like my dreams for mixed race groups like Eurasians and other mixed race groups, but I hope to do that next week and beyond as well. But yeah, I thought I'd focus on this, like Money Mondays and stuff like that, and my imaginations. Although there are many things I could cover. I was thinking I could have covered also like what I call Illionaire networks, a strange idea I have on what I call Illionaire networks. But I think because I make these into 4 parts, and also on Facebook, like 8 videos a day is quite a lot, so to cover. So I thought people might get bored of me if they're not already bored of me. So I didn't want to risk it too much. So I don't think I'll get around to covering those, but I might cover them in these videos, like to amalgamate them into this idea, if you like. But yeah, I hope to run with my imagination. If my wildest dreams came true, I would have so much money to invest in those projects I talked about, like as much money as possible. Yeah, in the past, as I said before, like I would have loved to have been the largest share or equity holder, but now it's just like not. So, as I often repeat myself, sorry to repeat myself, but I'm not really materialistic in terms of like, yeah, I'm not really materialistic, so I don't really care about having a bicycle or a motorbike or cars, or a car even, or driving, or unless I have to, or having a bigger house or stuff like that. So I'd love to donate to these sorts of causes and goals that I talk about. Number 18, I hope it will somehow make the world a better place. But, again, maybe I'm being foolish and naive. Maybe it is a pipe dream and just a stupid moron, I don't know. But anyway, I suppose I am going to say. Number 19, I'd also love to support like Indigenous Africans and Australasians in software development. And number 20, also in STEM generally, Indigenous Africans and Australasians especially, or black people around the world, especially in those areas. I know I always use number 19 and 20 for those points, but I'd love to hear what from you, what you think. Could the idea work in its form that I talked about, or should it be tweaked? Could it work if it was tweaked? Is there a way to do QE without ruining the economy, without causing too much inflation and just generally ruining the economy? Could it be used to cut taxes and things like that, like social programs or whatever, or governmental costs and programs and whatnot? Could they be covered through this sort of thing? I'd love to read what you think, or even watch any reaction videos, as I said in part 1. Anyway, I think I covered everything, but I often when I was in bed and I couldn't go to sleep, and I was thinking of these ideas. I thought of a few different things, and when I come out to make the video, it doesn't quite go in the order I want it to go in. But or sometimes I forget things or add things or say them in a different way. But I think the main thing is, as long as I get the idea out there, and maybe in the future I can make alternative versions, and again do it in story form instead of list form and whatnot. Anyway, I am out. Peace and love.